Hello, my name is Abby Mickey, and you're listening to the Wheel Talk Podcast Giro Edition. We're here for stage 2 of the Giro d'Italia, a sprint stage. Well, we'll get to that. I have with me a very special guest, Heidi Franz.
Hello.
Former teammate, current superstar.
Oh, shucks.
I'm so glad that you were able to join me for this podcast.
Thanks for having me, Abby. It's always a pleasure.
It's been a minute since we podcasted together.
It has been a few minutes, I would say. Yeah.
At least 3.
At least 3.
Do you want to tell the good listeners what you're up to these days?
What am I up to? Well, I'm currently in a basement Airbnb in Lahti, Finland, on a post-gravel race soul-seeking adventure by myself. So, yeah, just living life, eating strawberries. It's strawberry season here, apparently. So I, was keeping track of the stage while snacking on strawberries today. It was great.
And the sun won't go down until about 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's about right. My sleeping hasn't been great, I'll be honest. Even in the basement.
Hilarious. Yeah. The funniest thing about the Baltic nations, and like Finland is Baltic, north of the Baltics, so even there, is they don't do the blackout blinds like you have in Spain.
Yeah.
And it's like, You're like, how is this possible? Because the sun literally sets at 6 a.m. here.
I know. This is now my second Airbnb of my trip, and I'm like, how do they sleep at night? It's insane.
They don't. They sleep in the winter. Like
they
bears.
Don't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're here to talk about the Giro d'Italia Stage 2, won by Chiara Consoni in a bunch sprint. It was, wow, they really left it to the last minute, this one. But Laura Kopecky started the sprint, kind of a lead out from Ceratizit WNT. They had a fantastic Turingen Ladies Tour. So was kind of expecting them to, put their best foot forward if it came to a sprint, and they did. But Laura Kopecky started up the sprint, and Chiara Consoni was perfectly placed behind her to come around her for first. Elisa Balsma, who's coming back from a horrendous crash earlier in the season, was able to finish third, which is awesome for her. And Elisa Longoborghini held on to her pink jersey by 1 second over Grace Brown.
What a stage. What a finish.
A great win for Consoni. It's her third Giro stage win, but she always wins later in the race. Like, she usually wins the last stage or the second to last stage. So for her to come out already on the second stage and win her for the third time at the Giro, it's pretty impressive. And she's like a relatively quieter rider on the World Tour side. Like, she has a bajillion podiums, but she doesn't win a ton in the World Tour. And I feel like every time she gets a World Tour win, it's just like, oh yeah, Chiara Consoni, she's really good.
Yeah, she's seriously one of the most consistent riders, like at every level, just under the World Tour. And so she's like, the number of times she's winning or on the podium, like you said, is so many times. So was I surprised when she won today? No, I was like, oh yeah, Consoni, of course. But then thinking about it, like, wow, yeah, when at a World Tour level, it's actually quite surprising. But like,
she's racked up an endless list of 1.1s.
Yes, she is like queen of the 1.1s, and that is not like, I'm not throwing shade. That is a high, man, that's a high honor. But of course, then what do you do next? You go win a Giro stage. So.
Yeah, and there are rumors that she will be switching teams next year, so it will be interesting to see how she carries her wins so far in her career and what she's able to accomplish into a new setting. Because she's always been on, Valcar Travel and Service and UAE, which is not an Italian team, but basically an Italian team. She's always been in this Italian environment. And next year, she's supposedly going to a German team, so a very different vibe. And I can't wait to see what that means for her World Tour wins, if that means that she's going to be up there contesting victories against like Wiebes, because we need a sprinter that can do that. And I think Consoni has that kick, and man, she was great today. It was, up against maybe not, not Weebus, not Weebus, not Charlotte Cool. Lotte Kopecky's still an amazing sprinter, and the finish was a bit uphill, so it wasn't like a flat sprint. And there was a rolly run into the sprint as well, so it wasn't just a flat stage. And Balsamo not at her best at the moment, so it's like, can she compete against Weebus? I really think she can. I think it just depends on the environment. So excited to see her kind of chip away at more wins and build that confidence and take that into her new team next year, if the rumors are true.
For sure. I agree. I'd love to see her like more consistently battling it out with Charlotta and Lorena. And clearly she has that explosivity. Like she was really patient today in her timing when she came off of the wheels and then went for it. And yeah, clearly she can kick to the line at the end there. So that's, yeah, I would love to see that. And I totally think she's capable of towing those two to the line. So, or taking those two to the line rather.
And she's you may be wondering why she's not racing the Olympic road race, and it's because she's focused on the track. So right now she's even got a better kick than usual because she's probably been doing a lot of work on the track to prepare for Paris.
That makes sense. That's good to know. I was curious about that.
I was as well. And then today I was like, why isn't she going to the road race? And then I looked it up because she's actually ranked, I think, 7th in the world.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised. But I mean, the Italians, they have a strong team. I'm excited to see that.
Always. Their team is always so strong. One of the bigger stories of the day was the breakaway of 2 riders, Anna Vittoria Magalis of B Pink, and then Alicia Misagalia of Topo Girls Faso Bartolo. And Anna Vittoria, she was out there until like nearly the line. She got caught just under 2 kilometers to go. And it was very close. I mean, there was a while there where you were like, she's holding this thing all the way to the line. It's going to be the first ever win for B Pink in the Giro, which is wild because it's a team that has been around since the dawn of time and has kind of brought many, many girls through the ranks. And she still had almost 4 minutes with like 21 kilometers to go. And that's doing the math, she's got the advantage, but they got to 10 kilometers to go and SD Worx hit the front and that time just plummeted. I mean, it was like the math didn't mean a thing. The math was out the window because the time that went by at that point was just crazy. And she would have been out there all day long. So definitely more tired than a bunch of people who sat in the wheels for the entirety of the stage. But yeah, it was really impressive how quickly SD Worx was able to kind of mass to the front and bring that back down and then caught with 2K to go and it was a sprint finish, which I think we were all expecting a sprint finish, but I was not expecting there to be a solo rider. Like with 10K to go, she had 2 minutes and a half.
I know that was a really, really impressive ride from her. And I think I may have seen somewhere she's probably the first Brazilian to wear a jersey at the Giro, which is pretty cool. If that's true, that is awesome. And I wouldn't be surprised. She's been so strong all season, really. And also special shout out to Urska Zigart too, because that was like a classic Urska Zigart move. And I was like, yes, this is the time. And man, caught with 500 meters to go too. That was, she almost held it off too. But yeah, I mean, once SD Worx decides they're bringing something back, they don't, just let that effort go to waste. So, yeah.
They did not mess around when they decided to bring it back. And Niamh Fisher-Black was like amazing. She put in such an incredible turn on the only climb on the finishing circuit and pretty much like obliterated that breakaway time gap. And then it was, up to the rest of the team to bring it back. And Kopecky did her best to follow it up, but just didn't have the kick to out sprint Consoni in the end.
It is really good to see Balsamo back up there. Just knowing that Trek was going all in for her today and saw them earlier on the front, really committing to that. And so that's super cool to see. And yeah, Elisa Longoborghini too was talking about how she really was excited to work for Balsamo today and protect Balsamo, which was just like, it's just so classic Elisa. She's in the pink jersey and she's so excited to work for her teammate for the stage. I love to see it.
She said after the stage that today, all day long, riders in the peloton were coming up to, clap her on the back and tell her that they were so happy to see her in the pink jersey. And I came to the conclusion while writing my newsletter today that she would probably be the one rider that if she won the Giro, even second place would be super happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
We have an audio diary from Elisa's teammate Lizzie Deignan. So let's hear what Lizzie said about the stage.
So stage 2 of the Giro today, it was a pretty straightforward sprint day, just as we expected. So it was just under 110k flat with a couple of kickers towards the end, which actually hurt a little bit more than I wanted them to. But yeah, there was a breakaway, which actually got up to about 7 minutes at one point. And we kind of gambled a little bit that we didn't want to take too much responsibility, Lidl-Trek as a team. Because obviously Barty's coming back from quite a severe crash, but she still wanted to do the sprint, which is really cool. But we kind of wanted to play it safe and not put too much pressure on Barty and have the whole group riding for her. So luckily for us, there was a couple of other teams interested in the sprint, and yeah, collectively with a lot of help from Loretta Hansen in our team, the gap got closed just before the finish, and Barty came third, which is a brilliant performance from her given the fact that she's still coming back from that big crash in Burgos and it's her first real time sprinting. So yeah, I think obviously she was disappointed because she's a real racer, but the rest of us were really impressed, and Elisa Longoborghini contained the pink. So yeah, all in all, another good day for us here.
I feel like Lidl-Trek played it super smart today because they didn't do a ton of work. They did like a little bit of work, but they really let SC Works take control of that final bit. And it seemed like Lidl-Trek was just really saving their energy for tomorrow.
Yeah, super smart riding from them. And I do like seeing how the other teams have figured out how to get SD Works to do that kind of work on the front to bring things back if they really want to commit to a stage win, and like they do need to put in the work, and they're doing it, which is great. And yeah, it makes for a really exciting final when you're not sure if the break is actually going to make it or not. And my gosh, yeah, tomorrow is going to be super interesting though, with how strong Lidl-Trek is, and I can't wait to see the stage tomorrow.
There are a couple teams that tomorrow is a big deal for them. The first kind of mountaintop finish, and it's not really a mountaintop because it's quite a gradual climb that then flattens out for a couple K and then kicks at the end. But one of the teams that is really going to be looking at this stage is Canyon-SRAM. And Neve Bradbury, their leader in theory for the general classification, but Antonia Niedermeyer is currently in the young riders jersey and is the closest to Elisa on time. But we have an audio diary from Alice Towers of Canyon-SRAM, so let's hear what she's got to say.
Hi everyone, it's Alice, and I'm here riding in the Giro d'Italia women for Canyon-SRAM. We've just finished stage 2 actually. And if I was to summarize the stage with a sentence, I could say it was about playing it cool and staying cool. So I think I was going to let you guys know a couple tips on how to keep cool in a literal sense. So yeah, we all wear these little sensors on our bodies, like core sensors, to monitor our core temperature, which are really handy because yeah, it's all about like not how hot you feel, but how warm your core is and how much energy you're wasting on being warm basically. So yeah, it's all about on the stage drinking a lot, ice vests before the start, pouring water on yourself, pouring water on your teammates pouring water on you, and it really makes a big difference because yeah, like to stay cool when the race is kicking off is it saves energy as well as physically, like having to save energy as well. So although today wasn't like super hot, it's good practice for the days that's looking like the temperature's gonna ramp up in the days to come. So yeah, good practice, and it was a hard day, but we all stayed cool and played it cool. So on to the next days. Bye.
Remember, we saw Canyon-SRAM a couple races last year, like have their team just lined up on the front on climbs like this one, which is why I think that this is going to be a climb that they're going to be really interested in, because they have strong climbers on their team that can do a lot of damage on a climb like this. And they maybe won't be able to drop Eliza, but I think they would be able to drop someone like Grace Brown, who is second on GC, only a second down.
Yeah, and I think if they're looking to the young rider classification too, Ella Wiley is only 3 seconds down in that, and they could make that climb. They could try and make that climb difficult for Ella if they really want to commit to Antonia's jersey. But I do think tomorrow could be a really good opportunity for Niamh to claw back some time and really show herself.
And actually, we have another audio diary from Ella's teammate, Urska Zigart, who is up there in GC and a phenomenal climber. She's riding just incredibly well at the moment, and put in a great time trial, and obviously, won both national titles just a couple weeks ago. So I think they also have a team that could do some serious damage whenever the hills arise. Mavi Garcia, Urska Zigart, Ella Wiley. It's a very strong team.
Very strong team, yeah.
First road stage of this year's Giro d'Italia is done, and it was pretty hot out there, a bit hotter than we expected, but luckily half of the stage was pretty easy back in the bunch. So we could get our refreshments, cold water, ice packs. It was really important today to just keep calm and cool down. And then once the break got quite a big gap, we started to go pretty fast, and we came to these local laps that it was pretty dangerous, I have to say. All the roundabouts, unswept corners full of gravel, some weirdly positioned fences, but in the end we had a bit of bad luck with our team. Our designated sprinter Ruby for the day, she got a puncture. So we couldn't go for a sprint with her, and then we miscommunicated a little bit what we're gonna do, and Ini was a bit not in the position we wanted, and then a bit boxed for the sprint. So we didn't get the result we wanted and we knew we could get, but we made it through. No crashes. That's always good. And hopefully also the punctures are out of the way for the Giro, and it's still a long week ahead of us. And if it's as hot as today, it will be also really, really important to keep up the hydration. Otherwise, the rest of the day, like I said, when it was nice and relaxed, I could chat with some of my friends in the peloton, caught up with Anne Santesteban, Nina Kessler, Jelena Erich. It was nice, because maybe we don't have a lot of these kinds of races through the year, or where we can take it a bit easier and chat a little bit. But
yeah, and then after in the hotel, a nice massage. Yeah, the only thing not so nice, yeah, just the official selection for the Olympic Games came out, and yeah, unfortunately, even though we have two spots for road and for the TT, yeah, our national coach didn't pick me, so yeah, I'm really gutted about this decision, but it's nothing I can do. There's no criteria, nothing. It's just one person's decision, and yeah, it's not the best, but yeah, I can say already racing at this level with this team, I think I'm living the dream already, and there are a few nice stages ahead of us, and I'm very excited for what's to come. And yeah, also my dad is here cheering at the at the Giro. He's gonna be following for the next few days as well. And Tadej's parents actually also stopped here to cheer me on the last 2 days. And now they're on their way to the tour. So yeah, it's always nice to see some familiar faces. And it brings out the tranquility, a little bit of familiar, yeah, and home things. So yeah, for now I'm enjoying this Giro, and yeah, looking forward for what's to come.
So the one rider who could have potentially taken the pink jersey today, I thought we were going to see Grace Brown comeback from Tour Britain 2022 when she lost the lead to Lisa Lamborghini on the final stage in the sprint by like a second. And I, based on her interview before the stage, I was sure that we were going to see Grace Brown going for an intermediate sprint at some point to try to get like 2 seconds and take the pink jersey from Elisa. It would have been it would have been amazing. It would have been retribution and just a beautiful moment. And unfortunately, we didn't see that. But I just love the thought that that Grace put that out into the world this morning before the stage.
With those two off the front, just sneak in some bonus seconds here. Or, I even thought maybe she would have gone for that late move in the last couple K. Try and do a little.
Would have been smart. Would have been a
shimmy,
classic Grace Brown move, to be fair.
I know. Yeah.
Imagine if Koster had gone and Grace had had been in the right position and then like slingshotted herself off of her.
Grace, I hope you're taking notes for next time. Next time you're in this exact same situation.
Well, we have an audio diary from Grace, so let's hear from her real quick.
Hi, Abby, Lauren, and listeners. Grace Brown here, signing in for the audio diaries. We just finished stage 2 of the Giro d'Italia this year, and this is my 4th Giro. My first Giro racing with FDJ-Suez, so it's a good time. And yeah, yesterday we started off with the individual time trial. The team were really hopeful that I could win and get the pink jersey, but came second to Elisa by less than a second. So that was a bit of a bummer, to say the least. And yeah, I guess for FDJ-Suez, it's like we haven't ever had a Grand Tour leaders jersey, so they're really excited to try and get it. So today we thought maybe we would be able to try in the finish to get some seconds, which would mean a late attack and trying to beat the sprinters. Bit of a hard ask. And yeah, in the end it was a bit difficult. The pace was really high, and it was a little bit crazy, I guess, in the peloton, and coming down from altitude, only a couple of days before. I haven't done that much speed, so to try and attack and get more speed than a flying peloton was just like too much. So we didn't achieve that goal for today, which is a little bit disappointing. But yeah, tomorrow is a new day and we can maybe try again. Although, yeah, it's going to be a hard stage with a long climb at the end. So let's see if I have good legs or not. Yeah, anyway, that's today done. And yeah, if you want to follow along more, I'm trying to remember to do little videos before and after each stage. So you can follow that on my Instagram. Otherwise, I'll be doing another audio diary further down the track. See ya.
Let's wrap it up, Heidi. We had a big day today. We've got an even bigger day tomorrow. It's a huge stage tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's going to be the game changer that is going to make or break the Giro for the top favorites. But I think it could definitely show who is on form, who is going to challenge Elisa Longoborghini, if anyone can challenge Elisa Longoborghini, and if Elisa Longoborghini can climb well enough to win this race.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see from the GC favorites that maybe didn't have the greatest time trial that they would have wanted yesterday. I'm really interested to see how they do this climb. Someone like Kim Kadzo and yeah, even, I mean, maybe Liana Lippert too. But I'm also just really curious. I'm excited to watch Juliette Labou go for it tomorrow. See what she does. But you're right. I think there are stages further on that are going to be a lot more decisive. But yeah, this is just one of those stages that you can start to, create those baby steps moving forward, gaining those seconds back, and should be an exciting one to see unfold.
Chipping away. Just chipping away.
One day at a time. Tour.
And we'll be back tomorrow to talk about stage 3. I'll be joined by Rebecca Charlton, who's also doing the commentary. So she'll definitely see everything that's going on in the race. Heidi, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Anytime. Thanks, Abby.